Hello everyone, and welcome to chapter 4.2, distributive law, addition and subtraction of linear algebraic expressions. Alright you guys, before you listen to this video and do the exercises with me, please go back and watch the YouTube video by Math Antics on distributive property. That's a prerequisite to watching this video. I'm going to leave it optional to read pages 98 and 99 in your textbook. That is up to you, but you must watch the video before coming in here. All right, so I'm assuming that you have, and we're going to look at pages 100 and 101 in this video, and then I'll do a separate one with some examples from exercise 4.2. All right. Apply distributive law, open parentheses. We're looking at task 1C on page 100 on top of the page. And it states x plus y minus z. We have to open parentheses. Whenever there is a plus sign in front of the parentheses, right, everything flows very easily. We simply just remove the parentheses. So we've got x plus y minus z. No problems. All right, however, sometimes, like in example 1e, for example, rather in task 1e, we've got an expression x minus y plus z. Okay? So the way that we open parentheses here, I will tell you first the way that I learned to do it when I was your age. And in this case, we simply just change the sign of the expression inside the parentheses, right? So we've got x, and then we have minus y, and then we have minus z, right? You see how positive y and positive z changed into negative ones with the negative sign in front of the parentheses. Now, what is actually happening in reality is that, let me erase these lines here, is that there is an invisible number 1, right? The negative 1 that you're really multiplying these variables by, right? So we've got negative 1 times y times z. And of course, here, right, is kind of like x plus negative 1 times y, which is negative y, plus negative 1 times z, which is negative z, right? And when we open those parentheses, we get x minus y minus z. So that's another way of looking at it that's just a little bit more correct, but at the same time can be a bit complex, right? Okay, so if you did not get this, just keep watching. All right. Let's look at task 1H on page 100. All right, task 1H is x minus y plus z, right? So whenever we have a minus sign in front of the parentheses, we're going to change the signs of the variables inside the parentheses, right? So we've got x, now x plus, right, plus y, and then we're changing the z, minus z. Okay, now if we imagine that this space here is occupied by a negative 1, right, just like I showed you before, then we could rewrite this expression as x plus negative 1 times negative y plus z, right? And for some of you, this may be an easier way of thinking about it. So we've got x plus negative 1 times negative z gives us negative y gives us positive y, and then we've got negative 1 times positive z, which gives us a negative z, right? Do you see how we got the same result? Okay, all right. If that's still not clear, it's just a matter of practice, you guys. And we can certainly practice together. All right, let's look at task 1I on page 100. And task 1I says x minus negative y minus z. So, however it's easier for you to open these parentheses, I say imagine that this is x plus negative 1 times negative y minus z, right? Might be a little bit easier. So now we're just going to follow the distributive law and multiply negative 1 by negative y and multiply negative 1 by negative z. Right? Let's see what result we have. X plus negative 1 times negative y is y. Negative 1 times negative z is positive z. So that's the answer to 1I. All right. So the last one I wanted to talk about here is try it on page 101. Okay. So try it 6. Try it 6 on page 101. That says simplify 3y minus 2 minus 4y minus 9, right? Since we have a negative sign right here, we're going to imagine that there's a negative 1 standing right here, and otherwise there's a plus sign in between these expressions, right? So to solve it, we repeat 3y minus 2, since there's nothing we're really doing there, right? And then we open the parentheses for the second expression, negative 1 times 4y and negative 1 times negative 9. So we've got, okay, we put our plus sign here, and then negative 1 times negative 4y becomes negative 4y, and negative 1 times negative 9 equals positive 9, right? So the only thing that we can do here further is, oh, no, I'm wrong. We will open the parentheses for 4, right? And then we, just like in the last section's examples, we are going to put like terms together. So we've got 3y, negative 4y, right? We'll put those together. And then we've got negative 2 and a positive 9, and we'll put those together as well. So let's do that. 3y minus 4y minus 2 plus 9. So we just reshuffled them a little bit so it's kind of more convenient for us to calculate. And now we'll solve it as usual. So 3y minus 4y equals minus 1y, which usually we just sort of write down as minus y, right? And then negative 2 plus 9 equals positive 7. And that is your final expression, final simplification of this problem. All right, I hope that it's starting to become more clear in your mind. Obviously, if you have any questions, then you have access to me during math class and after as well. All right.